Alrighty. We are now recording the webinar about feedback and surveys, about getting valuable insight to help drive your success. My name is Carlos Scarpero. I'm an authorized local expert for Constant Contact. I've been doing this for several years now. This photo was actually taken of one of my early seminars that I did probably about 3 years ago at a local college. I'm an internet marketing consultant based here in Dayton, Ohio. If you're in the Dayton area, I'd love to see you. I'm actually doing the big social media interactive conference in October. It's going to be very exciting. I also do SCORE, SBDC, Chambers, all those types of events. And so if you go to my website, mr-leeds.com, it has all the information about the events I have coming up, both live and webinars. I'm very excited to be here today and share some more knowledge with you. I offer a few services, so in addition to doing these webinars, I also offer done-for-you services. The big one is consultation and planning. You know, I just see so many people running around without an actual marketing plan, that they're, you know, grabbing this and grabbing that, not really knowing what to do. So I can definitely help you with that. Also offer email marketing, SEO, web design, pay-per-click, social media, all that good stuff. So you need help with any of those types of things, give me a call. You know, let's talk about it. Let's help you grow your business as quickly as possible, because, you know, the internet's where it's at. You know, definitely online marketing, you know, as long as you know what you're doing and can track it, it can be a great way to grow your business. So as a quick reminder, these seminars are sponsored by Constant Contact, and if you've not tried it out, I'd love to offer you a free demo account. It's a great way to grow your business. And so Constant Contact offers a few things, such as newsletters and announcements, which is their core product. Is the one they're known for, the one they've been offering the longest period of time, close to 20 years now, believe it or not. The next one's offers and promotions. And so for example, we're going to do maybe a Facebook offer or something like that. Feedback and surveys, which we're talking about today. It's a great tool to get feedback from your audience. And finally, events and registrations. So if you ever want to register for an event, Constant Contact has a great tool to create event registrations. You can also collect money from it, which is really nice, and use it through PayPal or credit cards, which is really handy because most people want to pay online with credit cards. But today we're going to talk about surveys, but at its core, marketing is all about getting a physical, measurable response. You know, no matter what kind of marketing you're doing, whether it's even offline marketing, like a direct mail piece, you know, you want to figure out what kind of response you're getting. You know, figure out if your marketing dollars are worthwhile. And so with email marketing or surveys, you know, you're basically pushing out questions and getting insights. So basically, you're pushing out questions to your audience, and hopefully some people fill out the survey and you'll get insights into what's going on in your business. So a great example is maybe after a webinar or a live event, you can do a quick survey and figure out what your audience thought about the event, and then pull in insights, you know, maybe what they liked, what they didn't like, what you can do better, all those types of things. You know, the more you can get in your audience's head, the better it is for you to grow your business. So on the agenda today, what are surveys, polls, reviews, and why you should use them? How to structure your survey, how to get and plan good questions. When and who, very, very important questions we have to work on. And then results and follow-up. How are you going to follow up after you do the survey? And finally, what's next? What are you going to do after you do the survey? So the importance of listening. Here are some thoughts. You know, I'd spend more if the customer service were better. I know those types of things are tough to hear as a business owner, but you want to hear them, you know, especially if you have employees and they're doing things you don't know they're doing. The more you can find out these things, the better. I have a good experience, and I definitely tell my friends. It's always a good one to hear. And maybe that's a potential referral source. You know, if it's somebody you know, maybe you can call them up and maybe, you know, offer them a VIP bonus, you know, offer them a commission, offer them free product, whatever, you know, to encourage them to tell their friends. I don't worry as much about the prices, but if the experience is great. Definitely, there's all kind of studies out there that show that, the better the experience, the more people are willing to pay. Customer support, unfortunately, has gotten a bad rap the past few years. A lot of companies are automating it too much or sending support overseas and things like that. And so if you have a good customer experience, people get a little shocked that, oh my gosh, they went above and beyond, because unfortunately so few companies do it. And as a small business owner, you really do have the advantage in that area, because the big companies tend to over-automate a lot of things, which can ruin the customer experience. So know your objective. What do you need to know, and how are you going to make your business more successful? So something to think about there. Pick one thing and ask questions about that. Be as focused as you can. And the more you can dig into what your audience is thinking, and the more you can dig information, the better. Every question you ask should have a possible action associated with it. In other words, multiple choice questions are better. And we're going to go through types of questions in a bit. But definitely consider that as well. So know your objective. So maybe you've got a good and a bad objective. So this one in particular is about Facebook. So a bad objective is find out if people read our Facebook post. Who cares? What you want to really find out is if they prefer pictures or links. Something real simple like that can definitely help. Do they like our product versus do you think Homestyle OJ is more or less better than other brands? So you can see that one's really specific. It's a very specific question that people can dig into and answer yes or no. Because oftentimes you have them pondering. The more they have to think about it, the less likely they are to fill out the survey. On the first question, do you like our product? They'll probably just not even fill out the survey at all, honestly. They'll probably just look at it and go, whatever. As opposed to the second one, then they'll just dig into it and actually answer it. It's a simple yes or no question. Do they like our event versus they like the layout of our event venue? Was the program too short, too long? Would you prefer a buffet? These are all simple multiple choice questions and easy for the audience to answer. Like I said, if you make them think too long, if it takes them forever to fill out the survey, they're just not going to fill it out. So scenario number one, finding out if your customers are using social media. A better objective is to find out how you can use it to better engage with your customers. And so a great question to ask is, what social platforms are you using? Because you might find out that they're using a different social platform than what you do. People sometimes assume that, certain platforms aren't being used, or that, some of the newer ones are being used, and it really depends. And in the social media seminar, we go through this a lot more. But generally, some of the newer platforms like Instagram and Snapchat and those types of things tend to be a much younger audience. Facebook is a much more general audience. LinkedIn is much more B2B audience. And so, but you don't want to assume, if you ask, then you'll find out exactly where they are and adjust accordingly. And that way your marketing budget is being spent wisely. What kind of content do you look for in social media? So, and then you can develop desired content. So a couple things with this one. Certainly looking at a survey works out, or you can look at your Facebook statistics and look at that. Or also, I did another seminar about website tracking. And so definitely with this one, you want to look at your website results. There's a program called Clicky that's really good for that sort of thing. And so definitely look at that and figure out what kind of content works out for you, and adjust accordingly. How often do you expect to see new content posted? 2 times a week, 3 times a week, daily, weekly, monthly? How often do they want to get your newsletter? It's another good one to ask. So this is either on social media or your newsletter. How often do they want to see it? If you can tune that into their needs, it's better. if they're expecting weekly and you're sending it daily, you might overwhelm them and then they don't want to see it. Or the opposite, if they want daily and you're sending it weekly, you might be missing out on opportunities. So another one, I want to figure out how to get more people to my events. I do a lot of live events. It's definitely one I always like to figure out. Survey the past registrants that didn't show up and figure out what would encourage them to attend. So for example, in which area would you most likely travel to attend an event? Downtown, the suburbs, at our store. Maybe there's a part of town that you didn't realize was part of it. Another thing I do is oftentimes before the event, I'll ask for a zip code, and that way you can figure out where in town they live. And certainly if you're finding out that certain people live on the other side of town and are driving to your event, maybe you want to do one on that side of town. I figured that out as well, just doing surveys and doing events. And the more I talk to people, the more I can find out those types of things. What kind of entertainment would you most be interested in seeing? Do you want to see a comedian, musician, performance artist? Sometimes what you think it is isn't necessarily what it is. A business event, maybe sometimes Friday night on a 3-day conference, they just want something silly and fun. It doesn't have to be businessy 24/7. What time of day are you most likely to attend? This is a big one. I made some assumptions on this one. I thought, they'll attend mid-afternoon, and I figured out, no, they won't, just based on my attendance and based on my surveys. And so I started doing a lot more lunch events because I figured out that's the best time of day for these webinars. Oh, let's see if I turn off my ringer. Sorry about that. Give me a sec. There we go, the fun of a live webinar. All righty, moving on. Types of surveys. You can send a survey through email, through social media. You can get feedback, segment your audience by interest. Surveys, a good 3 to 5 question survey is good. Make it multiple choice. You want to make it quick and easy for them to fill out. That's the big thing. If you get the more questions you have, the less likely they are to complete it. It's as simple as that. Polls are great for quick instant insight. And so polls are a little bit different than a survey. Polls are typically just one question, send it out through social media, or you can put it on Facebook. Facebook actually has a built-in poll feature as well. And so that's really quick and easy. Find out certain things as well. Reviews, ask for feedback on a specific product or experience. Have them rate your organization. For rating type things, I would probably ask for it directly and then post it, because the one thing you want to be aware of with reviews is, they post it to Google reviews and people are seeing it, it might be a bad review. So definitely pre-screen those, and maybe ask for feedback directly. And then if you get some really good feedback, say, hey, do you mind if I post that to my website? Do you mind if I post that on Google Maps or something like that? Because people read that stuff. As you're aware, Google Maps is basically the new phone book, and whenever I pull up a new business that I want to possibly go to, I look at the reviews. If they have a few bad reviews, I'm not going to go there. So definitely check that out as well. Structure and questions, reasons for survey. Might be employee needs, customer profiles, events, relevance, experience, satisfaction, a lot of different reasons people do surveys. So like I said a minute ago, the more questions you have, the fewer responses you'll get. So some good questions, a multiple choice question like the one in this example, definitely something that you want to consider. Makes it a heck of a lot easier. Because in Constant Contact, basically what you do is you take all those survey questions, you download those into an Excel spreadsheet, which is built into the system, and then use that to actually review the survey responses. And so if it's a multiple choice question, it's just so much easier to go through than to read those individual answers. So making it easy to answer makes it easy to analyze, lots of great comparisons. Ensure your scales are balanced and clear. So here are some some different things. Here's a survey question. Do you have any suggestions for improving our products? Problem with that is it's just so open-ended, you don't know what you're going to get. It creates what's called respondent fatigue, which means they just get exhausted. They don't want to respond, and they'll just close it out. It becomes time-consuming, limits comparison, makes it so much harder to research when you're on the back end actually trying to go through it. So also, you don't want to ask leading questions. So this one, and the politicians are great for leading questions because oftentimes they'll ask a leading survey question because they, want you to answer certain ways so they can file these reports. But for us, we don't want to ask leading questions. We're trying to get neutral responses. We're trying to get responses that are trackable and responses we can use. So here's a leading question. How would you rate the career of legendary outfielder Joe DiMaggio? That's a leading question because it's already assuming he's a legendary outfielder. As opposed to this one, how would you rate his career? Much more of a neutral question. Let them decide how they feel about it. Are you satisfied or very dissatisfied with us? That limits the evaluation. You're assuming they're either super satisfied or super dissatisfied, as opposed to a lot of people are more neutral. They just think, oh, it's okay. It's not spectacular, but it's just okay. As opposed to overall, how satisfied are you with us? And then you use a scale, in Constant Contact, you have this 1 to 5 rating scale, and then you can actually have them put a spot in the scale and determine that. What suggestions do you have for improving our tomato juice? Too general. People just get overwhelmed with that. As opposed to what suggestion do you have for improving the taste of Tom's tomato juice? So that one's more specific. It's just talking about the taste as opposed to everything related to the tomato juice. It could be the packaging, it could be the labels, it could be advertising. It's just too much, as opposed to improving the taste to see the difference there. What do you think of the service? It's really hard to compare the results, and so people are getting overwhelmed with that. As opposed to, if you found the choice to be blank, 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 or bank, what do you think? Much easier. Check off a couple boxes, you're good to go. How would you rate the food and entertainment at the event? That's 2 questions in one. You should separate that. How would you rate the food and how would you rate the entertainment? Very simple. And then on that one, I would put maybe a 1 to 5 scale, and then maybe you can add comments too. So I would probably put a 1 to 5 scale and add commentary under it. How would the RDD explain the use of CTAs, drives? What? That's just too overwhelming. What the heck does that even mean? As opposed to how effectively did the speaker explain the call to action. So as you can see, that one's much more easy to understand. Much easier to understand. Pardon me, I'll get some sip of water here. So make your first question easy to answer and place those most important questions up front in your survey. Because you know that not everybody's going to fill out the entire survey. It's pretty much known. So get the most important questions up front, and a little information is better than no information. Ask for the profile and demo info at the end. Explain why you need it. I often put these as optional, or maybe something like, if you would like to hear back from us, please enter your demographic information below, that type of thing. And that way they're not overwhelmed with it. How long is long enough? Like I mentioned a minute ago, the more questions you ask, the more likely they are to not respond. So make sure that questions are relevant. If one question is enough, don't ask a second question. Really think about what kind of questions you want them to ask and do that. Don't ask too many open-ended questions. If it's multiple choice, you're much more likely to respond, much more likely to take the time to do it, because you want them in and out under 5 minutes is my objective. Don't ask too many demographic questions. People get just so frustrated these days with all these demographic, and they feel like people are prying into their lives, and so definitely you don't want to do that. Do you have fewer than 10 to 12 questions? Ideally, probably more like 5. Do ask multiple choice questions, make it easy. Limit those open-ended questions, no more than 3. And you can combine them in Constant Contact. You can actually do multiple choice, and then after it, create a section for commentary. So I do that quite a bit. Yeah, we want to target a short completion time, 5 to 8 minutes. I would say 3 to 5, honestly. Take it yourself. If it takes forever to complete, the longer it takes to complete, the less likely they are to do it without you having to bribe them or something. And you don't want to go into that area. So definitely you want to have a simple, short, easy to complete survey. So when and who? When do you survey? I would say on the fly as soon as you need to know something. So for example, if you're doing an event like I'm doing right now, right after the event, perfect time to do a survey while they're thinking about it. After an interaction, so like I just mentioned, or regularly scheduled. So these are more customer surveys, maybe a couple times a year, do just a quick customer pulse type survey. Or, every so often I'll send out just a general survey of, hey, I'm working on my schedule for next year. What do you guys want to hear about? And then get some feedback that way. Categorize your audience. So different survey respondents are going to have different answers, especially for something like events. Whenever I send a survey about events, one person says, I want this type of event. The other person says, I want that type of event. And there might be totally different types of demographics. And then what I can do is split that up and say, okay, this event is towards this type of person. That event's towards that type of person, etc. So you want to segment that audience. So maybe in January, you do a long survey with the entire group. In May, you do a short survey with a small segment. And then September, you do another short survey with a small segment. Just one example, all kind of different ways you can segment it. Just one example of many you can use. So results, the first thing you want to do is get the word out. You want to make sure that people see the survey. Constant Contact has great tools that you can use to send to Facebook, Twitter, LinkedIn. Obviously, email marketing is our core product. You definitely want to email it out. You can even text it out. All kinds of different ways to get the word out. It just depends on the type of survey. Some types of surveys, maybe you only want your email list to see it. Maybe you don't want everybody to see it. And certainly if you need help with this type of thing, let me know. I do consult on this. And so let me know if you need help with a survey. I can definitely help you out with that as well. Hurry up and wait. Interesting statistics, 50% or more survey responses come back the first day. Why is that? Because people see it in their email and they take action. 88% of responses will be filled out in the first week. And 2 weeks generally enough time to fill out the survey. Think about it, when people procrastinate, once they procrastinate a couple days, all of a sudden a couple days comes to 2 weeks, 3 weeks, 4 weeks. I'm sure you're the same way. And so the ones that didn't procrastinate are going to do it the first day or two. And those are the ones that are most excited to fill out the survey. By 2 weeks, everybody should have seen it and had the opportunity to respond, and they just didn't want to do it. And that's okay. You close it out, and then you can decide what to do with those results. So now what do you do once you get those results? A great thing to do is send them to a closing page. You can thank them, provide access to an incentive, share info on distribution results. Coupons are great at that spot because they took the time to fill out the survey. They're obviously an engaged customer. You say, thank you. Why don't you come back into our salon and get $10 off your next haircut, that type of thing. Buy one, get one free, tell a friend, all those types of things you put in a closing page and use that with your survey. Or you can send them to your website. Same thing, put them, give them access to the incentive, maybe give them a special download, coupons, etc. Testimonials, all kind of stuff. But it should inspire action. Whenever you're doing a survey, you definitely want to make sure that you are taking action of whatever happens from that survey. Because with a survey, you want to make sure you're actually doing it. Nothing worse than having a survey and then saying, well, that was nice, so what? I had this happen with a hotel. I went to Salt Lake City a couple of years ago and had a horrible experience with a hotel. And they sent out a customer survey, and they basically did nothing about my problem. It only ticked me off more. So definitely if you get a survey back and you're seeing some negative feedback, Call them up, ask them what's going on, create an action plan. If there's a complaint, you want to know about it through your survey before they go and tell their friends on Facebook, because they're going to tell somebody. The question is, are they telling you or are they telling their friends on Facebook? You definitely want to tell you first before they go and blab it off to 500 friends on Facebook. So review your stats and data. Make sure your staff is trained to redeem coupons and offers. Collect list signups at your redemptions. Collect information. And then use your same tools to follow up. Use your email marketing and social media tools to follow up with them after the survey. And then create an action plan. If in the survey you're finding out there's new products and services and programs you can offer, go ahead and introduce those. Use those to improve your website. Maybe people think you do something that you don't do. Make your communications more relevant. We talked a minute ago about time of day and frequency of action. If you can make that more relevant, it's certainly helpful. And then use that to attract new customers, clients, and donors. Figure out your audience demographics, figure out what they want, and then use that to also find other people that have those same demographics. And then segment that audience for better targeting. So some quick next steps and practical advice. Use practical branding or consistent branding and personalize it. State your purpose, state your incentives, specify a time involved. And then make sure they do know about confidentiality and have calls to action as well. And then include that thank you upon completion. And make them feel like they're helping you improve your organization. You want them to feel involved in what you're doing. But start small. It can be just a simple poll. People get so overwhelmed with, oh my gosh, I need this massive survey. And, probably one of my best polls was, just something as simple as what time of day do you want to hear from me? Something like that. Then you grow to a couple questions. And then eventually build it out to 10 to 12 questions. Share those results if you want. Send out additional surveys as you go through it. Maybe send the next survey only people who responded to the first survey. You actually will have the information on who responded. And then, maybe use that to maybe call them up, do a quick phone survey. They took the time to fill out the survey, especially if they have really strong feedback. Maybe you want to take the time to call them up and ask them, some additional questions and figure out, what else you can find out from them and maybe get a testimonial or something like that. So any questions? I know I went through this pretty quick. There will be a slide deck going out pretty soon, actually right after this. But do you guys have any questions? Any questions? All right, moving along. I'm going to tell you about the Mr. Leads VIP program. With that program, you'll have faster customer support, a free review of all your marketing campaigns, and you'll claim all the discounts you're entitled to. So with that program, you'll actually be able to be a much better marketer with your Constant Contact. And so if you're a current Constant Contact customer, definitely check out my VIP program. That's no extra charge. You work with me, I work with you. Make sure that your campaigns are going out as well as possible. And so email me at carlos@mrleads.com for additional information about the program. I also have partner discount programs through United Way, Chamber of Commerce, SBDC, etc.
Oh, are survey tools free and constant contact? Oh, that's a very good question. So the survey tools are part of the Plus package. So with constant contact, there's actually multiple packages. There's the basic package, which is just the email marketing tool. And then you get the Plus package, which actually includes events, surveys, social media tools, all that good stuff. And so the basic package is $20 a month before you include all the discounts. And then the Plus package is $45 a month. And so to get the surveys, you need to be on the Plus package. So some of the discount programs we have available, you got United Way, which is actually for any nonprofit. You've also got Chamber of Commerce discounts. We also have SBDC discounts, so if you're part of SBDC. And so with the Chamber of Commerce, it really depends on which chamber you're a part of, and so definitely let me know if you're part of the chamber so we can get you that discount. So a little about me, I'm a digital marketing expert. I actually talk to people about social media, about internet marketing, about SEO, and all this, it's just a whole jumble of stuff, and people get so overwhelmed because there's so much to know. And so I cut through that clutter and help you with a marketing plan of action so you can move forward in your business. And so if you want to learn about getting a marketing plan of action, let me know because I can definitely help you. Because oftentimes people, when they go through their marketing, they get overwhelmed. They look like this lady. There's just so much going on, so much noise, and it's frustrating. And so I can help solve that. And so let me know if you want a consultation. I'll give you some information in a minute about that. And so, because if you're not, you're going to feel like this person going, help me. You don't want to feel like that. I can solve that. Let me know. Or sometimes people say, well, I'm just going to hire an intern. Well, that intern's probably only been doing this a couple weeks, maybe a few months, maybe a couple years. Suppose I've been doing this since 1999, believe it or not, so 17 years. Long, long time. I've been there, done that. I've seen a lot, so of course I'm going to know more. I have more experience. Because, your online marketing, if you're trying to put all your eggs in one basket, it's your golden goose. Your internet marketing really is your golden goose, and you definitely want to make sure that you know what you're doing with it. And so let me know if I can help you. I want to invite everyone to get a free consultation. Just go to mr-leads.com/consultation. More than happy to talk to you about your business and see how I can help. So on that note, thank you everyone for being on the webinar today. I really appreciate it. This is being recorded. We had some audio issues. Hopefully it's going to come out okay. But I'll also enclose a copy of the slide deck. And if you have any questions, feel free to reach out. Thanks again, and I will talk to you soon.